Hello world, what is happening? I have quite a few molds to show you today that have just arrived that I'm going to start working on tomorrow and do first forming for. So first of all, those are my two new GT molds. So of course those are 128 scale, 98 wheelbase. So this first one is kind of Audi inspired, and then there's a lot of other stuff. It's just my own kind of outtake on what I think a cool GT or LM style car would look like. It's gonna come with this plastic wing for all of them. It's got my branding here and the name of the car, the GTSX, over here. So that's gonna be screwed to the little mounts at the back. It's got a fairly flat front, and you can see the normal car would be about that wide, and then there is the vent here to widen the car, and then the wheel arches that are really wide. It's got some really good detailing. Really pleased with how it came out. The exhaust at the back, the diffuser cut out over there, and then some really beefy arches on top of the wheel. So this one should be pretty sweet, and to go along with it, it is my little Supra look-alike car that I've made. Same 98 wheelbase, pretty cool. Same is gonna come with this hard plastic wing at the back, as you see over there. So this, yeah, this looks much more like a Supra, but if you put it next to a Supra picture, it's kind of everything is different. I just draw the car with the picture next to me. I'm not trying to remake a blueprint of the car, so this is not a replica of the Supra, but it's obviously what it is meant to be. But a pretty wide body as well, wide GT body, nice aggressive spoiler in the front, fairly widened front end as well, with some nice details over here. You have some really small fins that you can see over here, all the door lines and so on. I try to stay true to the roof line, especially the curved inner part of the roof line over there, and then you have a pretty aggressive rear end with a really recessed tail lights over there. That's gonna be fun to unmold, and the wing that's gonna be screwed like that at the back. So I think this is going to be really sweet. Those two cars together. Let me bring you the other GT so we can do a GT lineup. I'll pause. Okay, and I'm back. So I bring all the similar cars that are going to go along with this line. Those look more like you know, street cars than proto. This looks a little bit more like some kind of hypercars or protos or something. You can see this one, the GT8, I had down a wing for it like that originally. I just want to run it as a fastback, so I'm not gonna put it with the wing, but I think if you were to put those together, you know, in a like you can have something like a touring, or you can have something like GT. They're all 98. Even the proto, you could, you know, run them with those GTs together, or you can run really more of the, you know, those GTs together. So that's the lineup. I think that's going to be really cool, a really cool addition to the cars that I have. Something that's a little bit more realistic per se than the other concept cars that I'm designing all the times. Although this one is more far from reality than this one is, but it still has a lot of things that would resemble a real manufacturer car. So this is it for my GTs. Now let's move on to the 70s Lolas. So this is my cup of tea. This is really the thing that makes me tilt in life, the Can-Am, the old Lolas, the old 70s Protos and so on. So this is the first one, which is the Lola 260, and it is pretty true to form. Next to it is another one that we'll go to later. So you can see that this one is going to come with a helmet that is plastic, a super detailed engine that is sticking out. Might be difficult to see here, but when it's painted there is a lot of detailed on the plates over there at the back. You have this little intake that is going to be sticking out over here, and then this super nice wing. You can see the way the body is designed at the back. You have those really aggressive air down pipes over there, or the down duct or something. You have the louvers over here, not really louvers, but more like openings for the side. And then here I didn't do it as aggressive as the original Lola. It really goes inside, but I didn't want to do a two parts body, so I did it. I think I'm gonna do a sticker with a gradient, so it's gonna look like it's darker over here near the wheel. And then you have those air intakes for the engine at the back, and little air intakes in the front. No lines at all for any kind of headlights, because the Lola didn't have any. And so this is going to be a little series of cars that I make that are going to be more this is nostalgic, and this is really something I can't wait to see on the track. Couple of those Can-Am cars, Lolas cars racing together. And so this is my next one, which is based on the Alfa Romeo T33. And so this one, on the other hand, has headlights enclosures over there that would not be painted. I think this would be painted body colors. That's what I mean. I don't think you would really put headlights on it. I think most of them ran with just the panel on top of it. But you can see I got different recessed air intake in the front, true to form, completely flat side, with, you can see the different openings of the bodies over there. And then, so that is the mold for what's going to be the soft body parts when you have the air intakes and outtake over there. The rear is going to be completely cut all around this line and here, and what is going to be sticking out from the back, so that would be underneath here, of course, but you're going to see the exhaust collector, the back of the tranny, and then the tail lights, and then all the structure of the chassis. So that's going to be sticking out underneath there, and it's going to be sandwiching the body with the rear wing. And so the rear wing as well, pretty true to form. That's another plastic piece that is going to be at the back. And then we have the roll cage that is going to be screwed over here, and the helmet. So really pleased with this. Tomorrow I'm going to be cleaning up the molds, sending the molds, and I'm going to do the first test formings. I need to work on the sticker sheets as well for them, so I need to take all the imprints for the lights and the windows and so on. So that's it for now with the 128, and I am now going to move on to 112 scale. So let me make a little space and I'll be back super quickly. Wow, this is how fast I am. So first of all, it is a remake of one of my favorite body, which is actually the very first mold that I made for my vacuum forming machine, which was the Go-Kart 112. Well, it's not the first mold I've made, it's the first mold that I've made that worked on the machine. And so I'm very happy with the way this looks like on the track. I just thought my handmade mold can seriously get an upgrade, and so I'm still yet to do all the clothing. This is something I'm going to do by hand. This is going to be sculpted on top of that, and the hands and the arms are going to be resculpted as well. But now I have, first of all, I have markings for screw mounts for both the shoulder here and the shoulder there. I have embossed steering wheel as well, as opposed to the flat one that I had before. I'm gonna have some kind of fingers instead of just the little bubbly hands over there, but that's gonna be the parts for the arms and the steering wheel that attaches, of course, over there. So this part is cut out, and this part is cut out, and then you screw the steering wheel over there and the arms over here. And then I have a brand new plastic helmet that is designed, so this is no longer 3D printed over here on my machine, so this is going to be much smoother and nicer to paint. It's just my own little take on a helmet. It's not meant to look like anything in particular, but I'm really pleased with it. And the changes that I've made on the mold, I have redone the front ends. The original one was very square, so I've had a much more now shaped front end that would resemble a lot more a bumper. I've basically just rounded it, the edges around. I have changed the panel over here, which used to be more of a bubbly part, to something when you would have the something for the steering column and something flatter over here. And then other than that, I've just done some little cleaning up and polishing of the forms. It's pretty much the way it was with my handmade molds. It's just that everything is going to be much smoother and nicer this way once it's reworked. So this is 112 mold number 1, and I will now show you a brand new mold that I'm really excited about as well. And this is my Mono 112 vehicle. So this is for 112 pen cars as well. It is going to be a 3-parts body because there is a lot of opening everywhere on the body, so it had to be done this way just to look and then to be as well structurally sound. So front of the car, let me remove those first. So this is the main body. Once again, this is my own take on a back mono. It is not. It is meant to resemble a back mono. It is not a blueprint copy of the back mono, but you see the line here, so you would have all the blackened parts over here, and then the top with a body color. Those will have some stickers to have the cantilever suspensions over there, or it's a part that you can cut away as well. The front is fairly different from the original car, but still have the rounded headlight over there. I have the cockpit with the driver and the steering wheel, and so of course I have as well designed a new helmet just for it to be to scale with the body. And over here there's going to be these plastic parts that is going to be one of 3 links to the 2 body panels. So this is kind of the air intake and the exhaust over here. You can see that it's all hollowed over here. So this is it's strong, but it's fairly light. And so this is going to mount to the back of the main body panel, and this is going to slide under the back of the body. So right now I can't put it because of the mold, but this would sandwich itself and be attached to a pretty strong part and flat part of the body. And then at the back here it will be attached. You can see the shape over here. It will be attached over there. And then the body itself, so you have the wheel wells on top of the rear wheel. Everything here in the middle is cut away. All this goes away. And then this part here is going to attach to those. I don't know if you can see, it's so white, but there is 2 screw mounts over here, and so those are going to mount inside each other. And then this is going to be the link between everything to make the whole rear end pretty stiff. And so because you can see the rear part of the car, it's going to be all this is cut away, all this is cut away, so it's really a flimsy little part on its own. And if I had made that in one piece and then just cut away all that without any of the structural parts that I've made, I think it would have been way too flimsy at the back. So this is going to be a really neat little body. And then I have the mirrors for it. So those are the same plastics, M3 hardware that are going to screw on each side over here, and that's going to look, I think, fairly realistic for 112 pen car size, which is pretty uncommon, but I still think it's going to work pretty efficiently. I have a really nice slope in the front, and it's really low over here. So this is, yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Same as the go-kart and all the other 128. I'm going to work on it tomorrow and send everything, and I don't think I'll have time to do all of those molds tomorrow, but this one for sure is gonna be done, most likely one of the Lola and one of the GTs, and so I'll have pictures of the formed bodies, clear body, and yep. So hope you guys enjoy and you're as excited as I am about all those new goodies, and I'll come back with updates on every one of those extremely soon. So on that note, stay safe and see you soon. Bye bye.